Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 2. Last time we got our introduction into a brand new story and adventure in the world of Thedas. Varric has not suffered a lethal blow as far as we know. He's resting in a very thin bed. We don't have the most lavish sleeping arrangements here in the Lighthouse. You'd think in the Fade you could dream us up some comfier, bigger beds, you know, but here we are with the broken pieces of Bianca, trying to reconcile what's happened after stopping Solus's ritual. We're here with Harding, Varric, and Nev is exploring outside of the Lighthouse, which is where we're going to go today. So our Rook, Mapo Kyun, Nari, looks great. Let's check out the Lighthouse. Let's proceed with the game. We are in the Fade, I suppose, you know, just casually. This is the library. Damn. So if we pull up our map, the Shadows of Ancient Arlathan, we are in some sort of strange lighthouse. Solus is able to communicate with us through the Fade, as he has now been trapped, and Elganon and Galanane are free. Ain't that just so fun? And it's a shame too, Solus, we got some beautiful mural walls that you could repair here. Introduction to the Lighthouse, a new codex entry. You know how I feel about that. That is where we are. So I guess that is what we're looking at on the main menu of the game. Once the Lighthouse was a place of learning, with tools to study the secret workings of great magic. When Solus rebelled against those who call themselves our gods, the Lighthouse became his center of operations, with tools to study the best ways to free ourselves from the tyranny of the Evanurus. You are safe here, both those of flesh and those of Fade. Any who wish to help are welcome. The magic of the Lighthouse will provide for your needs, see to your comfort, and even help you understand different tongues for those who escaped here from different parts of the Empire. Should you have any other needs, ask for the Slow Arrow, and I will help. Felisan. So, interesting. Basically our Skyhold, right? This is going to be our base of operations. You can understand different tongues. It's sort of like the Mass Effect explanation of the Universal Translator. So the Lighthouse and the magic of the Fade is able to do that for you. Something I'm very happy about as well in regards to the Codex is the very clear way to navigate to the unread sections of the Codex. It's great. It's good stuff. Looks like we have areas restricted currently by routes that'll probably open up along the way, it seems. So, a base of operations with terrible accommodation. The beds are just, you know, atrocious. And for a library, pretty good. Like, I guess you could go and summon the bookshelves. I don't really know how it works. Beautiful lighting. Great furnishings over here. A door plaque. 3 meetings face to face under the sky. Interesting. This looks like it would be a portal. And you'd walk through there. There's a door plaque though, with an interesting title. Whoa! Oh, we have an Illuvian down here. Just our Illuvian room, just casually. Okay. Where's that though? Is that the forest of which we were before? The Dreadwolf's Illuvian. Most of us have only travelled through the Illuvians at the whims of those who call themselves our gods. We know them as mirrors that always go from one to the other, a bonded pair linked no matter the distance. Solus has outsmarted the so-called gods, If we use normal Illuvians, they could track us to our lair. Solus has improved upon June's work by creating a mirror whose singing stone can change its tune to take us to any Illuvian, and not just its bonded part. Thus we can travel wherever this rebellion needs us with no fear of pursuit. Travel is as safe as a normal Illuvian. If you have questions, ask for the slow arrow. So, kind of like, you know, our ability to go to, in Inquisition, we went into that mirror, we went into that Illuvian, and we saw so many. You could even see Meryl's mirror, which I assume was probably her bonded pair. Yeah. Doesn't look like we can use this at this time, and that's fair enough. We'll get there. Also, something that's really interesting is this is going to be the first Dragon Age game that I play confidently with a controller instead of mouse and keyboard. Origins is very much like a mouse and keyboard game. I know that the console releases, I think, were a little more built to those specific versions. Dragon Age 2, even with the action, it still had the command bar down the bottom. There was still a lot to be gained from mouse and keyboard. And then Inquisition was really beginning to push it at that point. But we still used mouse and keyboard. The way that this game controls and the combat has gone into that action RPG territory, I would say. The controller feels right for this. And I never really care. I like mouse keyboard and I like controller. I've really grown accustomed to both over the years, especially on the channel, from just a controller console boy to a PC gamer. But yeah, I think that this is just fine. I know that there are people that really want that mouse keyboard computer RPG element of Dragon Age. And honestly, I would be one of them too. I really liked how Origins was put together, but I've enjoyed all of the games for what it's worth. There's that main menu shot.
Look who's with us.
We're really in the Fade.
Land of raw magic, nightmares, and this, apparently. It's a lot to take in.
Harding thought we should talk about what comes next.
She's not wrong. But if you need a breather, can't hurt to look around first.
Explore the Lighthouse some more. I'm level 2. Okay, skill tree. Whoa, skill tree. Oh my god, skill tree. Oh my god. Alright, holy shit, Final Fantasy X Sphere Grid. Okay. Oh, that's incredible. There's so much to this. Damn, okay. And going into the specializations as well. So you have just the base tree, weapon, survival abilities, Slayer, Reaper, and Champion. Wow. Okay, we have 3 points available. So we have the Warrior Code. The greatest warriors balance their offensive prowess with a sturdy defense. Weapon swap, charged attack, sprint attack, all of that kind of fun stuff. That's what we've been getting to know. And we can split into 3 directions. So, shield volley, R2, and then triangle on return. Okay, striking a shield with a shield attack, volleys a shield back at enemies up to 3 times. The Captain America inspo for sure, you know what I mean? Tumbling Blades. Use your speed to unleash a powerful attack immediately after performing a combat roll. And counter blow. Oh, nice, yeah. After a perfect defense, a powerful counter attack. Yeah. When acquired, weapon damage plus 10. Interesting. So what they don't tell you unless you go into the details is the ones that you pick actually will give you stat increases. So you get 10% more damage when you do this. Greater passive on downfall. Critical versus knockdown enemies. Target is vulnerable to and prone on the ground, unable to attack or move. Jump attacks guarantee critical hit if the target is knocked down. Okay. And that'll start pushing us in the direction of weapons. This is great. This is a huge amount of skills to push into just for one character as well. Like Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition had trees to an extent, but this is a grid. And that feels good. That feels real good. Focused retaliation. Gain precision after a successful perfect defense. And we'll get a new ability. Okay, so it looks like all of the diamond-shaped ones will be new abilities. And then we have a lot of passives, and we've got greater passives as well. Oh, this is incredible. We're going to be able to switch and change so many different abilities. I really, really like that. So a Titan Stomp. Area control, physical damage, and applies an overwhelming status. Create a shockwave around you by slamming into the ground and deals very high stagger to nearby enemies. Target is weakened. Effective versus enemies under 10 meters away. And ability damage plus 15. Awesome. So you can then move into passives and traits as well. So traits will be the hexagons. Tap L1 the moment a projectile hits. I swear to God, when you look at that, that is the most God of War style shield parry and returning it back, even with the slow-mo in the preview. Such an interesting thing to look at. Just be like, that just feels like the God of War shield, and there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, that's awesome. So that was just level 2. Optional, talking to Nev, talking to Harding, and gather the team at the library table. Alright, let's take more of a look around. A faded note. Look at this place. We planned a rebellion here once, said we'd change the future of the elves, throw off tyrants, and we did. Now the path outside is fractured. It'll be hard rekindling all the Illuvians. Solus, if you see this, I'll be looking for you. Out in this world and in the mortal one. Don't cause too much trouble before I get there. Buddy, he was snoozing. The guy was hibernating. Do notes go into the codex? I'm going to assume not, because instead of saying you can view this, it just straight up opens up a screen for you. I really like the UI for that as well. So that's just going to stay on the floor. A glazed vase and a flawless crystal. What a valuable item. Rotate the statues in either direction. Yo! Is that Mythal? To enter the library passage. Ah, 3 pairings will speak face to face. That was the door plaque. This is Mythal, right? AKA Flemeth. I'm stuck. I've put, okay. Wait! Oh, dude. Mythal and Solus. And then there's a third face. Remember that meeting that we had between Flemeth and Solus? And she apologized. She's like, I'm sorry. And then she passed out. And then Solus was like, look at my cool eyeballs.
2 more.
Oh, 2 more. Okay, so it's 3 lots of 2 statues that have to meet face to face, not 3 statues. Gotcha. Okay. Whee! Go see if there'll be full damage or not. Well, an episode spent looking around our looking around our home base is not an issue for me at all. So we've got materials. I don't know where the other statue is. Looks like it might indeed be a portal that will get open. Conservatory, entering new area. Content marked will... Oh, thank you. Content marked with a clock symbol will eventually expire as you progress. That's nice.
It wasn't supposed to go this way. What do we do now? What do we do?
Harding,
Oh, hey, Rook. How's it going?
I should be asking you that. I got you hurt.
This is a dangerous job. Everyone knew that signing on. There's so much to do. We have to keep going.
You don't slow down for much, do you?
You sound just like Varric. And I always said, well, someone's got to keep you on your toes, old man. So, that's what I'm here to do. That's what I have to do. We need to get back to the ritual site, don't we? Let's stop worrying about me and go do that. Come get me when you're ready to go.
Okay, so we're going to have conversations that will expire as we progress through the game. And I guess obviously it's tied to our optional objectives. Very good to have that though. Because sometimes games just don't really let you know that you're about to completely miss something that you could get. And big flashing light bulbs telling you that you're going to get something is a good idea for me. So you can't talk to your companions at will. You can't just interact with them and then be like, hey, what's going on? Investigate, yada, yada, yada. Which is a bit of a shame. At least to start. I don't know if that'll change, but it seems like the conversations with your companions are scripted ones instead of me being able to be like, hello? What's going on? So I guess that's where Harding is hanging out. The dining hall. Fuck. The detail that Solus dined alone, right? The singular chair at the long table, the one candle, and the one plate. It was a lonely path that Solus walked, right? Oh, this is definitely a doorway. The silent and lonely path that he walked, right? And the Inquisition was friends, family for him in a time of such weirdness and uncertainty. And he's like, what the hell? I woke up to this? And then he tried doing that whole thing with his little orb and Corypheus, and that went wrong. And you can still see that there's that conflict with Solus where you've got friends coming up to him and being like, hey, Chuckles, coming up with nicknames. You know, he had a romance. He actually did have a love that was real and genuine, but then he also said, what if I removed your velocity and then broke up with you? Grabbed that ass though, didn't I? You know what I mean? So getting this perspective of his own hideout and base of operations and seeing his sad, lonely little life here as well. Like, he had friends and contacts, clearly. He was liberating people, but at the end of the day, what he did, going up against the gods, being the one to do so, is a big thing. Notes on a caretaker. This note has a smear of paint on one corner. Have they always been here? There are beings in the crossroads, unknown even to the wise, though the most ancient ones make any domain their own. Certainly this caretaker belongs here now. I wonder what we look like to them. Need is a scaffold. and the needs of the living ever rise and fall upon it. Hunger, thirst, sleep. Imagine the constant cacophony to one sensitive to such things. Or am I too simple? Wants are fleeting. Needs have deeper roots. Perhaps that's why I find this particular spirit's presence both comforting and disconcerting. The prospect that our heart's desire and our truest need could differ, or are even at odds, is hard to contemplate. So, notes on a caretaker with a small smear of paint, which means that this is most likely a note written by Solus while he was painting one of his fancy pants murals. So a caretaker that rocked up. The pantry. Something I'm noticing at the moment is there's like these weird floating lanterns. And the only ones that were active at the moment were the ones going into Harding's chamber. And then when we had our conversation, the lantern went dark. So I wonder if that's related. Okay, so Nev is going to be over here. You can go under there after this. The study, of course.
Wisps. Figures are in the fate, but I swear they're following me.
You alright?
Strange place you've fallen into, but I'll work with it. You know me.
Do I?
I know Varric wanted you for the job. You know the same about me. It's a start.
Well, we don't really know each other, do we?
A bad start. Unless you always meet people when something's on fire.
Most of the time. It comes with a line of work.
Right. You take a lot of notes. What about?
Lately, what we know, or knew, before Solus changed the game.
And it's...
Not much. I'm sure Lace would hate to hear that, but one step at a time.
Not much isn't going to save the world. This will get worse before it gets better.
The question is, how?
Cheerful.
That's what I'm here for.
Never proves. And the wisps are following her. Gotcha. Right, was there a lantern? There was, but I didn't check to see if that was on before the conversation. Hey, oh! I do like the fact that items and codex entries are glowing. I appreciate that too. Makes it much harder to miss. Introduction to the Lighthouse. Where were we? This one. On Divine Imperatives. The helm of the Solar is destroyed. Elganon's favorite torture is over. Too many agents have been rescued with their minds burnt out by that memory of an enraged sun. I feel a lesson here. The helm was not created to torment, but the Evanurus are not as we are. A god's ruminations carry their own will and imperatives. Memory bleeds into their icons and transmutes them as fire begets fire. For our Wolf Lord, who puts so much of himself into his creations, what imperatives do they carry? The heart of a rebellion must remain hidden, yet the light of divinity is uncontainable. We must be swift. A thought lingers. Even as he saves us, what does he impart upon us? Reflections by Shiran, one who renounced Deonthal. Good stuff. I think this codex in this game is going to be one of our most important ones to pay attention to. Simply because of what happened in regards to our writers of BioWare, you know? It seems that most of the work was potentially done, and then they went, hey, what if we fired our writing team? People that had been at BioWare for years, right? And it's really something to observe. I'll be very curious to see the writing, not only in character interactions and dialogue, but also in the codex and the lore and the world building. I assume a lot of it was already done when the really unfortunate layoffs happened, but I still am not happy about it. So far, so good though.
That's the second. One more to go.
Like, it's okay, it's just early beginning, so we're still just characters are getting to know each other. It's a little bit of that awkwardness between people right now. So we'll see how we go. Now, I'll assume that maybe... There's the statue there. I wanna... Oh, it's over there. It's right there.
Okay. That did something.
Yep. Something that's a little interesting though, and this has been a thing ever since Dragon Age 2, is the personality of your character as well. Depending on the type of demeanor and attitude and approach you want for your character, it's difficult when your character is voiced. Because there's a lot of people that get very attached to their character and the role-playing nature of that. And in Dragon Age Origins, and even in games, older games that aren't even BioWare, but I guess an example would be Knights of the Old Republic, even Fallout, and stuff like that. You had the dialogue being able to be fully written out sentences because they weren't voiced, and they were all sorts of different flavors, you know? At the moment, it seems that we've got like 3, which is the positive, let's make everything a joke, and kind of tough. So we've got like those 3 choices right now, and then getting sometimes the option for more, like obviously like romance and investigation and stuff like that. So we'll simply just have to see how we'll go with our Canary. It is a doorway. There you go. Because Mabo Broska, he was okay. He was a humble dwarf, humorous hawk. We had the Inquisition, and the Inquisitor was very good-natured. The stakes in this game feel huge, right? Because the end of everything as we know it is at stake, and I kind of feel like I enjoy that vibe of Rook's been brought in as someone who's like a can-do leader, I guess, if we're gonna be the leader, you know? And we will push to get things done, not as in a no matter the cost attitude, but in like a, this needs a firm hand and determination. We found a music room with the statues coming face to face. Oh, look. Now, would you look at that? He's been painted in here. So those lighthouse murals that have faded, these have not. His little secret stash. We got a lot of open chests in here. We got Dreadwolf imagery. Got like Inquisition imagery. His little painting stuff. Whatever that device is. Really cool to look at the details of these. I was wondering if he was going to have, well, look at that little loot. I was wondering if he was going to have one of those elven spherical objects that we were finding in the world of Inquisition. Memories of a duet. The sheet music left by this instrument appears to be for a duet. It has been annotated by an expert hand. The annotations are accompanied by clear emotional impressions, diligent practice with a ruthless eye to mistakes, the relief of private achievement away from well-meant misunderstanding and mindless worship, an unspoken joy in the center of rising perfect echoes. Finally, a beloved memory surfaces, a smiling glance, meeting at a crescendo, a shared moment of understanding, seeing completely and being wholly seen. The impressions fade. The musical duet between Solus and someone. We can also hear some weird ass effects over this. There's something behind there, but not getting it open at this time. I guess there'll be more to this. Like, we'll be able to go through the lighthouse and its secrets more over time, I suppose, because there's another one over here, and there's way more passageways that are currently blocked off. There you go. Let's gather our team.
So, we stopped the ritual.
And Varric paid the price.
Hey. Varric made his choice to go talk with Solus. He knew the risks. We all did.
And now Solus is gone. And we're here. Wherever here is. Besides in the Fade.
Solus called it the Lighthouse.
He did? When?
In my head, Solus showed up while I was out cold to gripe about us breaking his ritual.
He's mad about us destroying his ritual?
Sounded like it. When the ritual went wrong, he ended up trapped in some kind of prison.
You're sure that wasn't just a dream? It's a reasonable reaction.
Solus can speak with people in their dreams. Even kill them.
I'm not in danger. He can only barely reach me. I bled a little when I got knocked out.
So Solus is using blood magic? Like any normal mage would to play with your mind?
But he's not a normal mage, like I told you. He's an elven god.
Putting together a nice ritual doesn't make him a god.
Also, he abhors blood magic, but then is like, he had some blood. He absolutely is a god, my dear friends.
He nearly brought down the Veil, Nev. Can you do that?
You know it's not that simple.
He may not be a prayers and blessings kind of god, but he's a lot more than just a mage.
All right, well, we've stopped the ritual and there doesn't seem to be an immediate danger. For now. You're certain Solus can't use blood magic to affect your mind?
I'm not certain of anything. But we're not out of danger.
What do you mean?
Solus had 2 of the other elven gods imprisoned. When he got trapped, they escaped.
So those things we saw come out of the Fade when the ritual went wild, those are...
Elganan and Gillenane. 2 of the ancient elven gods that Solus rebelled against. When I talked with Solus, he was scared of them. He said they were horrific tyrants.
Tyrants so powerful, elven history remembers them as gods.
Solus says Elganan and Gillenane drew on the Blight for power and became corrupted. That was when he imprisoned them.
So instead of one god running around, we have 2. And they're not just powerful, they're blighted.
We need to get out there and stop them.
Just like that, without Varric. And you're still getting back on your feet.
I'm fine. We can't just sit here and do nothing.
We need to investigate. Figure out what we're dealing with before we rush in and make things worse.
And how many more people will get hurt, get killed, while we spend time investigating?
I love the, like, we have to think about this. We can't just, like, rush in. And then the funniest part of that was, like, that was literally what we did in Minrathous and stopping the ritual. We're like, quick, just fucking pull the plug. So we're siding. I do believe Nev, in the context of intel and reconnaissance, yes, but also it's hard for me when I think about the fact that it's like, what has everyone been doing for 10 years, man? What's everyone been doing for 10 whole years? We've just been going, that Solus guy, I wonder where he is, for 10 years. And then Solus appears 10 years later like, finally built these statues and put them together. It's hard when you're one guy moving these big statues around, one statue per year. I think they're both right in their own way, but I've got to pick one.
If Elganon and Gillenane are worse than Solus, we can't go in blind. We need to know what they can do and what they want.
But we only have Solus's word about all of this.
Then let's go investigate for ourselves. We find out what we're dealing with, and then we take our shot.
Fine. The Illuvian led us here instead of back to Minrathous.
Let's hope it goes back to the ritual site. Maybe we can find some clues at the scene of the crime.
Harding, you okay to go?
I'm not gonna sit back while elven gods destroy the world because I have a headache.
All right then. Let's get back to the ritual site.
The Illuvian has its own special room. It's just down the stairs.
Alright, I know, I looked at it already. Alright, find the Illuvian room. Are we able to talk to Varric before we do that? And bro is sleeping. Okay. I mean, he deserves the rest. I have so many questions for all of the characters, you know what I mean? Like, I want to talk to them. Whee! In we go.
For all we know, there's a dozen demons waiting on the other side of that Illuvian.
If it even takes us back to Arlathan.
Harding, you sure you're up for this?
I'm fine.
My girl, I feel bad.
Well then. Shall we?
Let's do this.
Blood dragon armor looks so good on a Canary, doesn't it? Because it's like, I love killing dragons. We back. Iron Bull would be proud of my armor.
It's quiet. Well, isn't that a surprise?
There's the ritual site. But if the gods really did get out, they're not here anymore.
Right, let's take a look around and see if we can find...
Oh.
Cut it down!
I'm trying! It's not working! I can't contain it!
Look at that bro's shoes.
Strife? Irlin? It's me, Lace Harding.
Harding? What are you doing back in Arlathan?
It's complicated.
I can see that.
Rook, Nev, this is Strife and Irlin. Varric and I met them when we first started hunting down Solus. They're veil jumpers, experts in ancient elven magic.
Hardly experts. I should have been able to shut that artifact down. I'm sorry, Tarith.
It's not your fault. Since the sky ripped open, the magic's been surging. Bunch of artifacts that had been dormant for centuries started coming alive. This is because of Finn Harel's... Solus's ritual, isn't it? You all were supposed to stop him.
Cool. Interesting. So, I find it interesting that we had Inquisition where we ripped the sky open, and then in Veilguard we're like, We ripped the sky open. And old artifacts coming alive is really cool, though. That's fun, because it's different now, because we've got imprisoned elven gods released and on the loose. It was a cool little construct, what that looked like, anyway.
Didn't see you volunteering. We put our lives on the line to stop Solus, and we stopped him.
And we've got the scars to prove it.
Sky's not ripping itself apart anymore, is it?
All right. You stopped Solus. So why is Arleth neck deep in wild magic?
Solus was dragged into the Fade when we interrupted his ritual, but something else got out.
Someone else, supposedly. Elganon and Gillenane.
Mithalanast. Two of the elven gods of old. The Evanuris.
Shit. If they're back in the world, that explains a lot.
Mithal. We get to this point when we've been talking about gods for a while in the conversation and we go, ooh, the gods are real.
So Elganon and Gillenane are loose. Which means what?
You thought Solus was bad. He's a bit of a bastard, true. But next to them, let's just say they weren't known for their kindness.
There's a reason Solus led a rebellion against the Evanuris, and a reason he imprisoned them.
But now they've escaped.
Tareth is in bad shape. We need to get him back to the camp.
We've still got dozens of veil jumpers unaccounted for.
How can we help?
We need to find Belara Lute. She's the best there is at working with our ancient artifacts.
And also at blowing them up.
She was off looking for another artifact before this ritual shook everything loose. If anyone can get a handle on all this wild magic and the artifacts it's setting off, it'll be her.
Right. Then you two get your friend back to your camp and we'll find Belara.
Harding, I need you to stay with the Veil Jumpers. Nev and I can handle this.
I'm fine.
No, you're not. Until you've recovered from your injuries, you're a liability.
Fine.
We'll meet you back at the Veil Jumper camp. It's just south of here.
Belara's out near some elven ruins to the west. At least she was 3 days ago. I'd start your search there.
Good luck, Rook. And thank you.
Well, all right then. Their friend stepped on a Lego piece, bro. Get him some shoes. That's why he's so injured. That's gorgeous and dangerous looking.
Is it me? Or is there something strange about this fog?
I've never seen fog like this. Something's not right.
About to enter Silent Hill. Okay, the Lighthouse Illuvian is currently locked on Arlethan Forest. The Veil Jumpers, an elven group, may be able to help it reach other locations. Belara, a Dalish elf with the Veil Jumpers, has found the team in a veil bubble. Has found the team in a veil bubble in Arlethan Forest. To escape the bubble, Belara will need the team's help to disable an ancient elven artifact. Okay. Don't read that before you've even played the story mission. I haven't done that yet. So anyway, the story so far. I don't need to read any of that. It literally asks you to open the journal to to read that. Belara has not found us yet. We're trying to find Belara. Okay, now skills for Rook. Is there skills for Nev? Is my question. I like that we are able to refund the points as well, so you can kind of respec if you want. Doesn't look like there's an option to do the skills for Nev. Maybe that's just not available yet. Okay, Nev has abilities. I need to remember how to get the, how did I get, there we go. Okay, time slow reduces the movement of enemies and companions, but allows you to continue moving and attacking at normal speed. Icebreaker fires 6 projectiles at targets that explode after a short delay. Okay, so we've got 2 abilities for Nev. I didn't choose those, so maybe there isn't a skill tree for companions? My character looks damn good in cutscenes, though. I will tell you that.
So that
Hello.
suit of armor is moving. Come, get ready.
I'm sorry. But those veil jumpers were struggling with one of these, were they? Whoa, look at this detail.
Gotcha.
What?
Oh, people. Where'd you come from?
Balara? Balara Luther. Strife and Irilyn sent us to find you.
Who are you, exactly?
Call me Rook.
Nev Gallus.
Wait, I know that name, but protocol is to wait a full week before they send anyone out to look for me. I've only been gone 3 days.
Well, the situation's changed. For the worse, unfortunately. The elven gods Elganan and Gillenane have escaped from Fen'Harel's prison. And it seems like they want to destroy the world.
Oh, yes, that is very much for the worse. Okay, wait. I need a second.
Like I said, end of the world? You can mull it over later.
It does sort of explain a few things, though.
Like what exactly?
The surge of raw magic in the area. These artifacts started waking up a while ago, but in fits and starts. One here, a couple there. Then, a couple of days ago, the sky split open. And now, raw magic. Thick as fog. Only a god, or gods, could have done that. There's something kind of exciting about it. And dangerous. Really dangerous. Dangerous enough that I was gonna head back to the Veil Jumper camp, but...
But what?
See that shimmer? That's a veil bubble. It's separating us from the rest of the real world, so to speak. You can only pass through it one way. Once you're in, you can't get out.
Okay, now we're up to date on the journal entry that we just read ahead of time.
Strife and Irilyn said you're their best veil jumper. Hope that means you've got an idea.
Maybe. A bubble like that? There has to be something at the center that's generating it. Something powerful. If we can find it and remove it, safely, I mean, the bubble itself should collapse.
And then we're back in reality?
I sure hope so.
Well then, let's get going.
That gauntlet was cool. It literally absorbed the artifact into it. I don't really understand, but looked sick. We now have Balara in the party that has Replenish and Fade Bolts, so apply shocked on hit. It is interesting when it's like, the sky's ripped open and only a god can, or gods can do that. And I'm like, yeah, remember that event that took place 10 years ago? Pretty cool, huh? It's happened before. Okay. In regards to pulling up our inventory, I guess we can only do that.
Odd to find a camp this far out.
We've got camps all over Arlathan. The Veil Jumpers do, I mean. Never really know when or where the magic's gonna start going wild.
So the inventory shortcut is the I button on the keyboard. That's at least me trying to see if I can get it open. It seems that we're not able to access our inventory at this time. We can access the wardrobe back at the lighthouse, which is when we can kind of change our gear. But I guess it's a little different here. Something I do know ahead of time, as something I consider a positive, is they were kind of intent on getting rid of the open world-ish nature of Inquisition. Like, they don't want to repeat the hinterlands, you know what I mean? So more sort of focused zones with things to discover and find, and I think that suits Dragon Age just fine. Origins and Dragon Age 2 had that, and it's not how big the zones are, it's what you put in those zones that matters to me. So I'll be curious about how exploring this world will feel, but knowing that they're well aware of the pitfalls of the last game, I feel good about it.
To get to the artifact at the center of the bubble, but these magical constructs keep getting in the way.
A few dozen demons shouldn't be a problem.
Spirits, not demons. They're animating those suits of armor. The armor's attuned to the artifact to protect it from threats.
Ah, and I'm guessing it sees us as threats.
Good guess, Nev. You're a genius investigator. Bloody gorgeous game, though. These environments are beautiful. So we want to go up here to get over there. So I just want to check out everywhere else first. We got nugs. We got nugs. Nugs. Nugs spotted.
That's the edge of the bubble. Can't pass through it. We need to shut down the artifact first.
A nice little, let me swim. A nice little explanation for, barriers is veil bubble stuff. I'm fine with that. It's whatever. Now, if I was a canary with a lot of upper body strength, I could climb that. Unfortunately, I'm not. What the hell is going on here? It's not something I can interact with. Hello? Wild
water just swirling into the air.
We call that kind the whirlpool. The anomaly, I mean. Never seen one this size, though.
What if I walk into it? Will it take me up there? Only one way to find out. A barely legible note. Construct broke my leg. Veilguard took a blade to the gut. We can hear them above us on the bridge. Once they leave, we'll make a break for it. They can't wait for us forever, right? The thing that's going to really interest me is when were these notes written? I wish that they were dated. But then, you know, people who leave notes on the ground aren't really going to write, yes, this is 947 Dragon. If it's, I think, Inquisition takes place in 39 or 40? I can't actually remember when Inquisition takes place. I think we're either around 50 or a few years after 50, the 50th year in the Dragon Age, if I'm remembering correctly. I was wondering if jumping into that was going to take me through it. That's a Canari's way of thinking. We're like, let's see if this is as dangerous as I think. I'm not even on the map. My arrow isn't lined up with the mini-map. I've left the boundaries. It is lined up here, but I guess there is a certain aspects of the map that I can walk outside of.
Demons! Right where we need to go.
Let's deal with them.
Okay, let's try and do some companion abilities. You can choose whether you want things to companions to attack your targets too, which is fun. Let's go for Fade Bolts. Nice. Level 3, we have a skill point. Combat is fun, and I'm enjoying getting more skills, getting more abilities, being able to direct our companions to do stuff as well. So there's still that engagement with companions. Very Mass Effect approach. I don't necessarily have an issue with that at all. I think Mass Effect combat was fine. I know that people, especially like the long-term Dragon Age fans, struggle with the different gameplay from game to game, you know? Personally, I like the ability that we used to have where we could just totally switch and have control of companions and have their full abilities. That was very fun. I think that was great. I think obviously, from what I've seen at least here, Rook has a skill tree or a skill grid, but at this point in time, I'm not sure if I have this available for all of the companions. I would love being able to properly customize all of the companions and even having the ability to play as them as well. Like, they clearly have the animations, they have the attacks, they have the abilities. So being able to switch control and play all these other characters in combat would be really fun for me. I would like that, for sure. But it doesn't seem that we really have that as an option. Let's get that Bullock passive. The greater passive is reinforcement. Each of your advantages increase damage dealt by 10%. I'm gonna be a goddamn tank. I'm excited for unlocking and finding new equipment. I'm not sure how we're going to...
Any ideas on what the artifact we're looking for might be?
I have a couple of theories, but nothing definite. We might find some clues in the ruins, though.
Not sure how we'll go about unlocking and finding things at this stage. I just know that the wardrobe included everything that we could get for every character. Just has like the locked icon on it. Fade butterflies.
I don't usually see elven ruins that haven't been picked over.
I got the answer to my question. That's funny. I'm like, what am I gonna get? You know? That's pretty funny. When are we gonna get items? We just did. The Jumper's Deft Leathers. These layered leathers have cooling gaps for long stretches of high activity while maintaining full flexibility and vital coverage. Looks like you can unlock extra ranged attack damage and charged shield toss damage. You might have to upgrade them, but there you go. All the way around.
That's come this far into Arlethan. Just veil jumpers mostly.
And people trying to save the world, apparently.
Oh, there we go. It took us getting our very first piece of gear to now access character. Okay. We have our worn sash for 400 healing. It's seen better days. Huh, that's not working as it should. If I turn the appearance on, which it currently is, it's showing my Blood Dragon armor. And if I turn it off, I can then see the light armor that's equipped with my goddamn feet out. This is why that guy stepped on a Lego piece and he was in pain. Interesting. So we don't. I'm keen to get headpieces for sure, and different equipment's going to be nice. I need to get rid of this woodworker's mallet. I guess that's our ultimate ability, which we don't have yet.
Do you know what this place was?
Could have been a temple, could have been where they stored food. But judging by the sentinels, it's probably something important.
Is this...
It almost feels like an armory, or something like that.
Why would there be an armory this far out?
Warlords. Ancient elves had a lot of them.
The companions are chatty about the environment, which I really like. I'm assuming maybe the butterflies are to hang around loot to draw your attention to it, I guess. Like looking to see if there's like secret breakable walls or something in walls that look fragile. Stained glass window for the Evanurus is cool. Looks like there's stuff upstairs. Let's head through the main doors.
Well, isn't this a sight?
Wait, is this? No, it can't be. Not here.
Can't be what?
We have to get over there. The artifact we're looking for must be inside.
Maybe we're not able to get up there. When I saw that other balcony, I was like, it was giving me the vibe that I could get up there. Yeah, it looks like we can. Look, there's a path there. Yeah, we can get up there. Let's try and get up there. I cannot find a connective path to that yet, so it might just curve around later, or it's just simply nothing. But I wish to explore.
No way across. Think we can make the jump?
Oh, no, we can make a bridge. There should be a power crystal somewhere nearby.
They really made me work for that one.
Got it.
Bring it over here and slot it in.
Interesting. Okay. Ancient elven technology often runs on power crystals that can be transported between locations. I guess we'll just chalk this up to it's the tutorial for power crystals, so they just put it right next to it. They could have put it in that little room that we just found, though, so you actually have to search for it.
And there we go. Easy.
Wow, isn't that something?
A resonance amplifier. It's drawing magic from the ring temple to this area. I need to shut it down before we can go up the path. But doing that will attract anything nasty that's hanging around.
We're ready.
Classic. Protect me while I disable the device. Oh, Tinker. I was like, I'm opening up the ability tree with this? Gotcha. Attack warning. An indicator around your head will flash when there's an incoming melee attack. Of course they will. I thought Balara... Okay. So Balara isn't actually needing to be like protected or anything. She's still fighting. That's nice at least.
Out of the range. Watch it.
Cool. I like the quick firing on abilities.
That's the last of the magic energy. Path should be clear ahead.
Okay, so you'll come up in situations where it's like, I need to deactivate this, but then I guess it still looks active. It's changed a little bit. Boom. I will say I like that you don't have to like protect her during it. It's not like, keep him off me, you know, that sort of trope. It will just be sort of an indicator that you're going to trigger combat.
So you're really Nev Gallus? The detective from Minrathis?
Last time I checked.
I've read about you. You've gone after some powerful mages before, but Fen'Harel? The real Fen'Harel?
And now Elganon and Gillenane, apparently.
My actual gods are out there trying to end the world, and Nev Gallus is on the case. I can't believe it.
Nev says, meh, just another Tuesday for Nev Gallus. Apparently. We got another one of them constructs. We'll sneak up on him. No stealth in this game, no crouching. Like, let's get him from behind. Watch this. You're never gonna see me coming. Okay.
Damn. Another sentinel construct. We'll have to take it down.
Okay, so red unblockable, of course. That, you little construct.
Easy enough.
You never saw me coming.
Whenever you see one, there's more nearby.
Alara talking to me like I'm not someone who's done this a million times before. I'm a canary baby, it's what I do. I be putting down the dead and then raising them from the dead and then bringing them back again.
Bad end here.
Because I'm part of the
Mages have
Morn
trouble
Watch.
with the artifacts here. They expect them to work like, you know, normal magic. But they're different. The magic's more alive somehow.
Weatherstained note. We have found the usurper's archive spirit. It is not the Dreadwolf's creation as we surmised, but another's. You can guess whose. Removing it could be risky, but leaving it equally so. I await your orders, Lord Elganon. Captain Athnarel. So, Lord Elganon, This isn't Dreadwolf's creation, another's. So I'm banking on Mythal for that one. You know, continuing on that Inquisition reveal of, I'm sorry, old friend, you know. Perhaps. Perhaps. Again, gotta make a mention. When we talk about Fenrir, when we talk about Mythal, Elven Gods, Inquisition, I can't help but think about, again, the story choices that we brought in, the story so far, the choices that we make. 3 choices. Inquisition Romance and 2 decisions from Trespasser. How is the Inquisition? And what did you do with Solus? Painfully simple. Who drank from the Well of Sorrows? You know what I mean? Like, that's huge. The stuff that's tied to the Elven lore you'd think would be decisions that you'd been like, hey, who had the juice? You know what I mean? Because if this is a situation where we do have any familiar faces rocking up, it really throws into question their pasts and their stories and their actions. I genuinely don't think we're going to get any familiar faces. And if we do, they will be like sprinkled in to the point where you're not able to get enough information, or it'll be like safe enough where you won't be able to tell what choices in past Dragon Age games are applying here, because they won't allow them enough space for that to conflict with anything. That's like my initial thought process, is we're either not going to see any of those past story things come up, and we're not going to see characters tied to them. And if we do see characters tied to them, they won't be able to confirm nor deny. So it'll be interesting to see how that's approached. But again, it is a big concern of mine, because Inquisition was a culmination.
These kinds of ruins never gets old.
Anything here that can help you piece together what exactly that artifact is?
I have a theory, but we're miles away from where that artifact should be.
Okay. Inquisition was a culmination of so much lore and world building and story. It was big. And instead of maintaining that momentum, which is hard to do after a decade since the last game, it's stripped back a little bit more. And I won't say that it's reboot-like, but it does have that element of let's simplify everything instead of ramping it up even more. Give me that power crystal. Fade-touched war axe, a common great axe. So nice, this will replace our woodworker's mallet. Millennia ago, the armies of the Elven Gods wielded axes like this one. Give me that. Fade-touched because it's green. A big axe is more my speed than a woodworker's mallet. What do you reckon? Room of constructs? You want to fight? You lot? I like the environmental music going on here. Yeah, there we go.
These constructs! It means I was right.
Right about what?
About where we are. It's an armory. And I think I know what the artifact is.
Look at that. Nice move, bro.
cool, pretty cool. Oh, the door shut behind us. For some reason. I put the power core in the slot, homie. That door should be open. I was gonna go get that potion. Oh, what's this? An active core.
So if this is an armory, what sort of artifact are we finding? A weapon?
An archive spirit.
What?
A creature of the Fade bound to a crystal. Ancient elves use them to store knowledge and to help them dream.
Okay, so from what I can tell, yeah, it seems that our little Fade butterflies are just drawing our attention to specific areas and items. Ooh, we've got Darkspawn. Finally, we have the Darkspawn. That's pretty gnarly.
Methalinast. Darkspawn.
Cool. Alright, we don't have a bestiary, so this is the best that we got. We want to look at the Darkspawn detailing. Look at the eyeballs popping out of him. Hang on, let me turn off that depth of field. We looking at the chompers on these bad boys. Look at those veins. Interesting. All right, we finally have our Darkspawn. I think they look pretty cool. These guys. Let's get in there. Get in that mouth. Yeah, that's pretty sick. So these are just like the normal ones. There's been contention and hot debate from what we've seen of like Darkspawn from like a design standpoint. I think from what I've seen of like ogres specifically, they do not look very cool. They look really strange. I think just our standard enemy here. That's cool. Gonna mess them up. God, there's a lot of them too. Boom! Alright, killing mobs of Darkspawn.
Here. I never would have believed it. Until today.
Killing mobs of Darkspawn feels good. Oh, they disintegrate over time. Damn, okay. So remember when Darkspawn were a Grey Warden's job? Maybe I should have made my character a Grey Warden for immersive purposes of fighting the Darkspawn with ease. You know what I mean? Just having Darkspawn be things that other characters... I mean, we are obviously a special group of characters, but you know, having us be the ones able to deal with them without a Grey Warden present feels almost wrong in a way.
Another one of those resonance amplifiers.
Get ready. Once I shut it down, the path ahead will remain blocked until the magic dissipates.
We've got your back.
Got it.
Hey, one more to find, and I guess that's slowing down the thing in the distance.
Never doubt Valara. goes to you.
I've never seen Darkspawn this deep into Arlington Forest before. As far as I know, it's never happened.
Could the Elven Gods be commanding the Darkspawn? Solus did say they were blighted.
You saw those Darkspawn, though? Something was different about them.
And we'll stop them. Once we get out of this bubble.
Right. Let's get to that central temple.
So something's different about this Darkspawn. Maybe that explains why we can fight them and kill them without being Grey Wardens, that sort of thing. And it is an interesting question to come up about the Darkspawn at the behest of our Elven Gods here. Our blighted Evanurus? Perhaps. You have to forgive my little flannel scarf accessory. My air conditioning is broken and it's just getting hotter and hotter at the moment, so we have to resort to the ancient methods of frozen towel on the back of the neck. So I can stay nice and cool, because when it's also hot and then I'm also recording and then my computer is running a brand new game, it gets a little hot in here. Gold bead. Big glowing container that's probably explosive. What do you reckon? Use the ballista.
The wall looks weak here. I bet we could break it somehow.
Ooh. Wait a second. This wall or a different one? I can break it with the ballista.
I wonder if that ballista could smash through this wall.
Oh, you're talking about that wall.
More Darkspawn, right where you broke that wall.
Yeah, I can see. Boom. That AoE damage. Put your weapons away yet, team. What if I directed this at some other walls? Oh, no, I can't go that way. Would be a nice little perfect opportunity to hide some items behind walls. Using Remnant.
And another resonance amplifier.
Should be the last one, I hope.
Fingers crossed.
Interesting. The Darkspawn blight that's like growing out of this though. A little more Darkspawn than you'd think growing out of this. Alright. Have fun.
down. We're close. I can feel it. Have you noticed something about the blight? Where it is, I mean? It's almost like it's feeding off the elven magic.
Interesting. So feeding off the elven magic, so I have a little bit of like a change to the Darkspawn in that way. So we've got like plot reasons for different Darkspawn. We do have breakable walls, but it's also shown on the map for us, which is good. A cracked scroll. The stench of decay fills the air. The Evanurus now wield power beyond anything I've seen. Their magic is fueled by corruption and death, and creeps even now into the stones. We cannot outlast this siege. You can see why the Darkspawn are having a good time here. Convenient post. Doesn't even feel like it belongs in the environment. Someone just dropped that there. You can't really make sense of it. We're in a veil bubble.
Building's what I think it is, then the alignment means we're here. This is it. This is where it was kept.
Where what was kept?
The archive spirit, or as the ancient elves called it, the Nodus Derthalin. It means the inevitability of knowledge.
Why is it called that?
I don't know, actually. The notes were never very clear on that, but I plan to find out.
Okay. Elven lore drop time.
More constructs ahead.
The inner sanctum. We're getting closer.
Frenzied Sentinel. Oh. It's not Darkspawn? Oh, yeah. Those Darkspawn arrived a little late to the party there.
Looks like this door is going to need a second power crystal.
Then let's go find one.
Skirmishers round, commentage. This sturdy buckler is light enough for its wielder to return attacks without tiring. It's a cool symbol on it too, I like it.
another
Gross.
ballista. I bet we could use it to break through that wall.
Hello? More enemies or no? The battle music played and then... Gotcha. It's very interesting how the environment in the Veil bubble is constructed. It's constructed in a very video gamey way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, go and put the thing in the slot, and the slot takes us up to a thing that's like conveniently pointed at exactly what we need to then progress to the next thing. Instead of having that freedom. I guess that's the trade-off when you're like, we'll go for a linear exploration. You know, it can never be like perfect, but it feels a little too simple. It's like, here you see what you need through a window. You know, you need a little power crystal. Yep.
We did it. All that's left is the Nodus Thallen. I have so many questions for it.
You're going to ask it questions?
It's an archive spirit. You'll see.
I don't feel like it's going to be in a chatty mood, especially with the state of this place, but I mean, we'll see. The Raider's Cleaver, a common axe. Okay, nice. So we've got just a nice little one-handed weapon. Has a nice little upgrade. A common weapon among early Avar raiders. This axe's honed edge makes short work of wounded enemies. Nice. We're switching from mallets and hammers, mallets and swords to axes and great axes instead. I feel like the axe should be on my back though. Where do we put the axe? This definitely goes on our back. Yeah. I'd like to be able to see your heavy and light weapons at the same time. I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't have your heavy weapon on your back with your shield.
Okay, here it is. The Nodus Thallen.
So we take it and we're good, right? We can head back.
Oh, I wish. No, it's a lot trickier than that.
As if darkspawn demons and animated suits of armor aren't tricky enough.
I'm sure we can handle it.
It isn't that simple. If I remove the artifact the way I'd usually do it, it'll explode and take out half of Arlathan with it. Good news is, I think I can shunt the energy somewhere else. Okay, here we go. The way the magic is pulsing, I've never seen this before. It's almost like it's breathing.
It's ogre time. I can feel it, and I can see it.
Ogre! That's an ogre!
Alright, here it is, guys. Alright, this is our point of contention design. Honestly, seeing it in the game itself, in action, I don't hate it. Very Canary-like with those horns as well, hey. Yeah, it's not the worst, but I mean, I think it's just a step down as well. Like, I really love the ogre design of the original. It's very cartoony. This probably more than the others. It just has that vibe. I think it's the exaggerated features of just giant jaw feels a little bit cartoony. Let's take it on, though. We have our ultimate ability. Build your ultimate meter by damaging enemies once full. Press L and R to unleash a devastating ultimate ability. And the ultimate ability is Titan Stomp, which we got on our. Oh no, hang on, no, it's not. It's not Titan Stomp. What is our? I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's Spartan Rage. Gotcha. Damn. Ultimate finish. I want to know what it's called.
Well, wasn't expecting to fight an ogre today. Then again, I also didn't expect to learn that my gods are rampaging around and trying to end the world. Just one of those days. Okay. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Ooh. No. That's good. I think. Oh.
What does that crystal do?
Keeps the artifact powered. Focuses the ambient magical energy. That's why these things still work, thousands of years later. Oh, no, you don't.
Sulanan, Vir Sulevanan, and Asal Dirthara.
Well then.
I am the Nagas Dirthalan.
Right, I have questions.
I am the Nagas Dirthalan. What do you?
You turned it off.
Guess it's broken like the rest of the artifacts.
It isn't just any artifact. That's the Nagas Dirthalan, an archive spirit. And it does work. Or will, at least. Its crystal is broken. I guess maybe the blight threw its resonance off somehow. But I should be able to fix it. It's kind of my thing, fixing magical stuff. Strife and Irulan will want to know about this. And the Blight, and the Darkspawn. Let me know when you're ready to head to the Veilgjumper camp.
I think the crystal broke because you dropped it. Alright, Belara level 2. Oh! Thank God. Okay. Yay! We've unlocked the companions menu. And Skills. Hang on. Yes, skills. Okay, they have a smaller skill tree. Happy about that. That's the thing. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this, so I won't talk about it yet. I was like, don't want to jump to any conclusions. I'm like, I can only see my own skill tree right now. Maybe we're not able to customize them, but maybe it'll unlock later. And I waited, and there it is. So that's nice. They have a smaller tree. That's understandable. But I do like that there are multiple pathways that you can take, and we can finally have a look at their equipment. The equipping after defeating the ogre, I could do without. Remember the ogre fight in Ostagar, right? That was hard, it was painful, and it was incredible. And there's no, well, that just happened. You know what I mean? It makes me roll my eyes after going up against a tough enemy. But we'll see how often that comes up. It does seem like a Balara character quirk to kind of deflect some seriousness with that sort of humor or attitude, I suppose. Bronze branch, a common longbow. The finest materials, a bold design. Only Balara would consider this twisting, angular bow simple. Wonderful. And then we have the camping gear. Lightweight kit with plenty of pouches and straps to handle a few too many supplies. Must have for adventurous researchers. Cool. And then obviously we know what our other characters have. But we can actually finally see what we've got. So Harding has a soothing potion and adrenaline rush. A rousing shout, motivating you to act with renewed determination for enhanced damage. Okay. Alathian Tinkerer. Balara is an expert artificer who can unbind magical wards and repair devices of ancient elven origin. And we have an enfeebling shot now. A magic-infused shot from her bow, dousing her target in fade magic. And then we'll go into skills for our characters. So, Galvanized Fear. Balara concentrates a controlled tear in the veil, concentrated on enemies but sparing allies. Draws enemies toward a point on the battlefield, then deals damage to those pulled close. And we can do passives to increase these. Cooldown duration. Damage versus a barrier. A barrier buster. Time slow. And we can deal 25% more damage. That's nice. I'll take that. And then critical damage on this. We'll do cooldown time on healing. There you go. Harding has no points available. And Nev has no points available. So Balara gets the most. We've leveled up, so we've got another point. We can move into sending incoming projectiles back, which is quite fun. I want to do that, I think. Yeah, let's go for this trait. Return to sender. I like that. Level 4. In regards to library, nothing new there. Guess we're now trapped in here with one way to proceed. We got an uncommon longbow, the Storm. So we're already replacing the starting equipment. Myriad fragments of enchanted metals, carefully set to draw power through the veil, makes each shot from this formidable bow more powerful. So I guess what we're seeing is being able to get, in the classic sense of common, uncommon, rare, legendary is probably going to how things will go. but you can get unique upgrades. So the Bronze Branch, if upgraded, will unlock a skill to deal 25% extra damage against Fade-touched enemies. So it does at least have them still relevant to use. I assume upgrading them would increase their base damage and stuff like that too. For now, I guess we just want to equip the new gear.
Ready to go?
It's interesting. It's like wrap up any
Let's
unfinished
look around
business.
a little more.
I guess the unfinished business is just like the loot and potions, because I'm shielded in here.
Ready to go?
Right. Let's get moving.
Come on. I'll show you the way to the Veil Jumper camp.
Wounded, 16 on bed rest, and some of our most experienced fighters are still missing.
We're running out of Veil Jumpers. Whatever's going on out there, it's scary.
Jahel and Milva never reported back from Demeter's crossing.
There are 100 people living in that village, or near enough. You're back, and you're alive. Good.
Sounds like things have gotten a lot worse since we left.
Darkspawn. They're showing up all over Arlethan, attacking anyone in their path.
We've evacuated 3 daily settlements already.
We ran into Darkspawn too, near the Nodus Dirthalan.
Wait, you found the Nodus Dirthalan? The Archive Spirit? We could ask it about the gods. Figure out their next move.
If it weren't broken, maybe. But we're not getting anything out of it anytime soon.
Meanwhile, Veil Jumpers are disappearing. Something out there took them.
I know. But maybe, if we find them...
We find the gods. Or at least some sign of where they might be.
But Arlethan Forest is huge. Where do we even begin to look for them?
Demeter's crossing.
What?
Irulan and Strife. When we came in, you said you'd lost contact with Demeter's crossing. We could go check it out. The 3 of us, I mean.
You mean 4? You're not leaving me behind.
You were just wounded. We can...
You'll have to tie me up to keep me here.
I don't know what you're going to find there, Rook. Likely nothing good. But you'd be saving people, and it might get you on the trail of the gods.
Demeter's crossing's on the far side of the lake. There's a small boat at the docks. It'll take you there. Watch your back out there. And good luck.
I like Strife. He's cool. Quest complete. With the team's help, Bellara disabled the artifact and freed them from the Veil Bubble. She also uncovered an ancient repository of elven knowledge, the Nodus Dirthalan. While Bellara intends to unlock its secrets, she has joined the team as they search for the escaped elven gods.
Could we really be at war with our
Okay,
own gods?
we'll need a boat to get there. Let's head to the dock.
I'm scared to read this now. Because then it's like, what you did was this. And I'm like, I haven't done that yet. But we'll see. Bellara Luther, a Dalish elf and member of the Veil Jumpers, has joined the team. Her uncanny knack with ancient elven artifacts may help the team uncover the secrets of the Dreadwolf's Lighthouse. The Veil Jumpers have asked the team to investigate the town of Demeter's Crossing, where some of their people have gone missing. We got a new codex entry. We have the Elven Armory and Archive Spirit. They're Archive Spirits, or at least that's what we call them. Beautiful artwork for Balara there. That's gorgeous with the gauntlet. They're Archive Spirits, or at least that's what we call them, but they're not spirits. Well, not really. Spirits can think, they can act on their own, but these ones don't do that. They have no free will, at least not to start with. If you have a lot of magic, though, and I mean a lot of magic, you can kind of force them into shape. Give them a mind or something close. Do that and they can remember pretty much anything you tell them for as long as you need. Only supposed to be 7 though, 1 for each elven god, and they're all destroyed. So where did this one come from and who did it belong to? The Elven Armory. We found another one of those strange elven buildings. The ones with the rings spinning around them. This one was unique though, because it wasn't half melted. Not sure what kind of magic you need to melt stone like that. Not sure that's a question I ever actually want to know the answer to. I don't know why this one survived mostly intact when the others suffered so much damage, but the alluvian inside was smashed. Maybe that was it. All that empty armor was pretty spooky too. Kept expecting it to jump off the wall at me. From Balara's journal. It's cool that you'll get like journal entries. That map looking like one of those, you know when like gamers have that setup and they've got like those nano lights or something that are in triangles? It's a unique looking map.
What you hear about Demeter's Crossing? Veil jumpers have gone missing. Do we know why? Someone will have to go out there and find out. Have a look.
Okay, shop rank, max 4, so you can rank up merchants to unlock new items. Gotcha. We can see what we possess in terms of materials and valuables. Gotcha. So it'll just be selling whatever we pick up. We can sell all, and it gives us our gold and our faction strength. So I guess you can choose what you want to... You don't have to sell everything. Oh, that's cool. Essential piece of an antique magical device known as an ocularum. And a bear carving. A pleasing wooden carving of a standing bear. A single glove missing its companion. I like that there's flavor text on these as well. May as well just sell it all. 111 Veil Jumper's strength. So next upgrade cost. Gold, materials, and rank points. And then you can rank up. Interesting. So 261 out of 3200. We are currently weak with them. But what can we buy? We can get concentration. And already another new bow for Balara. A lot of equipment being thrown our way. Product of an obsessive engineering and attention to detail, this bow fires true thanks to a magical sight of unparalleled accuracy. You can get mayhem, an uncommon short bow for Harding. Don't let the gilding fool you. This long-range Orlesian hunting bow fires fast enough to make one arrow feel like 10. Well, we'll get Harding a new bow. I was wondering if you buy from merchants, will you get rank up points with them as well? And a Fade-Touched War Axe, which is just the common version of what we already have. Oh, hang on, it's an upgrade. Oh, I see. We have the common one, it'll become the uncommon version. And there you go, so that, with 1610 gold, will unlock extra damage and also more damage and stagger in general. I see. And shop rank 2 will allow us to upgrade that shield. Before I spend everything, I'll have a look. Avatar of the Veil. I want to be able to preview clothing. I think it should be really important. I should be able to see what this looks like ahead of time. It's much. I get like having the icon. It definitely should be a preview. I'll buy it. We'll see if I even like it. I guess you can see that this is for Balara specifically. And so is this one. Can't buy any of this yet. Buying materials. I think that is tied to the rank up. So if we have 50 of that material, we'll be able to rank up. But we also need more reputation in general. Valuables and collectibles. Dragon's Bounty. Permanently boosts health. Okay. And we have appearances that we need to be ranked up for too. Well, while we're here, I'll spend the gold and I'll get a Vitar just so I can see what this actually looks like.
And now that we've met, do your best not to die, yeah? It can be rough out there.
Yeah, that's the plan.
If it gets too rough, just come back and I'll square you away with better bits and bobs.
See ya.
Let's go to my character and have a look at this. So, Vitar of the Veil. This renders the wearer a walking veil, fencing away magic and protecting from demonic forces. So we do get weak point damage and damage versus barrier eventually. Okay, so it's basically face paint. I do wonder if we're gonna get like helmeted pieces or head pieces for Canary, or if we're just gonna be limited to paint. We're just gonna have that hidden and just accept the stat bonus. Our ultimate ability is Flashing Fists. Batter your enemies with repeated powerful blows. Yeah. Alright. Harding has a new bow. There we go. My Blood Dragon armor sometimes is struggling to like load the textures properly on my chest piece. And it is because I took the settings down intentionally from ultra to high, most likely, because I just didn't want it to cook my computer. But I could probably put it back up. A lot of ravens out here. You can't really talk. You can't talk to people, and they don't really have anything to say around you either. Ranger Dowager Quarterly, Volume 4. Nice, in miscellaneous. A well-thumbed quarterly missive of suspect virtue. The Randy Dowager welcomes the shortened days with longing for the collected two telling tales, being a story of rocking between hard places, first seeking escape, but ultimately finding release. Then probably a third bear man shows up. The Randy Dowager, exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says, strains credulity and modesty in equal measure, but where better to suspend disbelief than upon rising passions? 4 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. I do like having codex entries that are consistent across the entries in the game. Like you'll have the authors of certain entries or themed pieces like that, which is very fun. Yeah, so this is traveling. Yeah, there's NPCs around, and the NPCs look good. They do not want to talk to you, though. He just wants to stare you down and judge at you. Well, you never seen a Canary before, brother? Yeah. Wouldn't mind the ability to talk to NPCs.
We're losing too many veil jumpers as it is.
Wow, they finally said something.
Crossing.
We need to get a handle on what's going on out there, and fast.
I know that talking to every single NPC, or like the ability to do that, could get quite distracting. But some of them at least, you know, the ability to talk to them about what's going on and connect with the Veil Jumper group. Someone, I assume side quests would be in the game, that would be a given, but you know, they could be like, hello, help me. We've got wounded over here and I need a potion. I know that side quests bore people, but I also think that there's side quests that are good world building opportunities, and if you want to get points to rank up with them, that's an option to do so. I'm sure that'll come at some point. But first impressions, I think, are important. And when we get given a whole bunch of NPCs that are just kind of standing there awkwardly, I'm like, I'd like to say hello to you. Scouting report. Apparition. Expedition scouting report. Veil Jumper Kaeda reporting. I was in the northernmost stretch of Arlethan Forest trying to find a way into the Janellis ruin. We recently discovered an old journal that claimed a lost Hala keeper found a room full of relics inside Janellis, down in the labyrinth. The entrance was blocked by rubble. As I was getting ready to wedge myself through a gap, an apparition appeared in front of it. It seemed to be blocking my way. Whatever it wasn't solid, so I think I could have passed through it, but it seemed to be waving its arms. It felt like a warning that I shouldn't enter the ruins. I didn't argue and turned and ran. Of course, when I mention these points, they are just concerns coming up as they come up, and it could be solved later as we play through, like the companion skill tree and other things. And I think I'm just being fair and open and transparent, right, about how I'm feeling. There have been many, many positives. So I'm not only focusing on negatives, and I don't want you to think that I am, or you saying that I am, because there's so many moments that I'm going, I like this is cool, I really think this is great, and explaining why, as well as also being like, I don't like this as much, I could do without that, I hope we get this sort of thing. So definitely feeling quite good about this game, and optimistic about it too. It's a gorgeous game. I'm enjoying the combat. I think it's very fun. Again, like I've said before, but I do think that getting into more of the abilities and learning more about our characters and companions will also be really enjoyable too. So I am having quite a fun time with this game, and I hope that I continue to do so as well, for sure. It seems like that is our... maybe is this like a fast travel point? Destroy it. We have a little icon here on the map for it. Beacon. Oh, it's a current respawn location, so you can fast travel. Gotcha. We have the Crossroads Alluvion. I guess if we were to specifically, so we've got the local map. Can I go into a different map? I don't know if I have another map at the moment, or just my local maps. I'm wondering, are we able to fast travel back to the lighthouse at will? I'm not sure yet. I guess we'll find out. That is going to be where we bring this second episode of Dragon Age, the Veilguard, to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm having a fun time going through this adventure. We've picked up a new companion with Balara. Harding's going to come with us to also find the missing Veil Jumpers. So we'll travel to Demeter's Crossing, and we'll see what awaits us in more of this story. I'll see you next time.